Hello, in this session, we will see how we can import the data into MS Access database from Excel or from another database. Also, we can see how we can export the data from MS Access when you create a report or from the uh, tables. So let us see, we'll start with one blank database. Let us say create one blank database, then you can name it as import export create, say yes, it already exists file, say let us say yes. Now by default it opens a table with blank records. We can close this table. Now we'll try to import Excel data. So we have an Excel file, say sample data. Let us open it and see what is there in this data. Say this data is a having date, region, representative, item, units, unit cost, total. So you have 44 records, let us say. This we want to import into MS Access in the table form because the data will be stored in the table. So we move this data into table. So we'll close this file and return to database. Now you see here in the top ribbon, the tab external data. So click on the external data. So it will open up some options. So you have saved imports and linked table manager, Excel, Access, ODBC database, text file, XML, and more. You have the SharePoint list, data services, HTML document, Outlook folder. So this is import and link. You see the tab description here. It is showing you import and link. We'll start with Excel. The file we have seen Excel. So let us click the icon Excel. It will open up a pop-up which says select the source and destination of the data. So the source, where is the file? We can select it from browse from the folder, and we have a sample data here in Excel. Select that, say open. Then you have destination, how we will put the data. Like you want to import that source directly into new table. This option you have selected. Otherwise, if you want to every time update the data into table from the Excel, then you have to choose link to data source by creating a link table. So this will create a link to the Excel file. So let us start with the import source data into new table. So we'll do only one time. Say OK. When you say OK, the Access directly picked up all the data, and then it has separate columns here, and each field name is assigned here. So it is showing here first row contains column headings. Sometimes if you don't have column headings, then you can write the column headings. If you uncheck it, so it considers the first row also as a data. But in our case, this one is a heading only, column headings. So each column has a heading. So we'll check it, tick mark it, then go to next. Now it selects the first column, and then it is giving a few options to modify it or accept it. Say for example here, field options. The field name is order date. So you have the order date here. If you want to change it, you can change it. If you want to give a PO date, let me say PO date. So it is changing PO date. It is changed from the Excel file to here. And then what is the data type? So if this is date format, so it is already saying date with date, date with time. So if This is the date you accept it. If it's not a date, if you want to any other text or something, then you can select the right option from here. And then, for example, next one, go to the next field and check this field name is region, and then data type, it is a text, so leave the text. And then if you do not want to import this field, you can tick it here. So the table will not have this field. Okay, now if you want to keep it as it is, you will untick it. And indexed, if you want the data to be sorted fast, then you have to say indexed s. Then go to the third field, and again same, confirm this is what the field data type is okay. The field name, say I would like to say representative, so I can change the name here. See, it is changing the name. And then item, say instead of item, I would say item description, let us say units. Okay, I want to say UOM, so you can keep as it is or you can change it. Then you come to here, unit cost is the number, so it is selected, data type as double. So you have multiple options here, single, double, longer, currency, integer. So you can choose whichever is good for the particular data it is in the Excel. And then the total also it has taken the double, which will take decimal places as well. Say next. So it is asking, do you have a primary key? If you have a primary key, okay. If you don't have primary key, generally by default it comes like this. If there is any unique data, then you can choose that as a primary key. If not, then let access add primary key. So it is adding a primary key as ID. So it is giving a serial number 1, 2, 3, 4. So this will be unique. So there is no conflict of data. So if you say no primary key, now it disappears. So you want to have a primary key, select it. So generally you should have a primary key in the table. Say next. Now it is asking to give a name to the table. So we can have the same name, and then you just add TBL table to differentiate as a table. Say finish. Now it is asking final question. Do you want to save the steps what we have created? If you say yes, save, means again you want to import the data, you can follow the same steps. You don't need to create, you can go through all the steps. It will import the data by following the steps. Right now, you say no need to save, we'll go directly for importing. Now you see it appears, the table appears here straight away. Okay. So this table will have the data. Okay, double click. You see the data, you get the same data what we have in the Excel sheet. So this is how we can import the data from Excel sheet. Whatever the name changes we have made, the name changes have come here, PO date, representative, item description, and the UOM. This is how we can import the data from Excel. So let us close this one. Say yes. Now, if you want to import the data from Access, so you have created, for example, your suppliers data, say sales data or contacts, some other Access database is there, and you are creating a new database, then you don't need to create the same data again from the scratch. You can directly import and then you can edit it after importing. So we choose again external data. So let us choose Access. So when you select Access, it says specify the source of the definition of the object, which means which file, which Access database file you want to select. Say browse, and let us select a file which already existing with me. Okay, so I have a file called Northwind database, say open. Now, what do you want to import? So if you want to import to the tables, queries, forms, reports, macros, and modules, then you select this option, radio button. Or if you want to link, which means when you have a data changing in another database, and at the same time, you want to update the same data without going every time to import. So you can select the link database source by creating a link table. So in this table, the new database and the previous database will be linked. So if you do not want to link, simply select the first option, import, say OK. Now it will show you all the tables, queries, forms, reports, macros, modules available in the database where we want to import the data. So let us choose here some of the tables. Okay, the table, you have plenty of tables here. So let us say I will import customers. We import the order details and orders. So when you select any of the required tables, so it is highlighting that particular table. So this is tables. So also let us say we'll select one query. Let us say sales analysis. Okay, now the previous selected is already there, and this we selected queries, one query, and the forms. So let us select customer list. One form we select, and then we can select the reports, say related to the suppliers, and then you have macros. So leave that one. So we have tables, 3 tables, one query, one form, one report. These are the things we would like to import from Northwind database. Say select OK. See what happens here. So it has executed the command, and then it is asking, do you want to save the import steps? Say no. If you want to save, you have to say yes. If right now, you can deselect it. Say close. Now you see here, customers table is imported, orders table imported, order details table is imported, and then sales analysis query is imported, forms is imported, one form and one report. So all this automatically the Access has taken all the data. So this is how we can import. If you have Access data or Access records, you can import directly, and also from Excel. So let us see what it has imported in tables. If you double click customers, so it gives a customers list. Whatever the data inside the previous database, it is imported. So we come to orders, it has imported the data in orders. This I can do. Okay. So if you click on the reports, okay, it has to have a backend data. Since it is not there, it is not showing it. Okay. This is how you can import the data from Excel or Access. So if you have text file, that also you can try it. But usually you will have the data from Excel or from Access database. So the other part, if you want to export the data, for example, you have data in a table, it's easy. Just you can put an icon in the corner, it will be selected. You can say Control C, and then you go to Excel file, and then you can open Excel, paste here. So this will paste you the data. You can format it the way you want it. This is how you can do it. Okay, you can make it to Excel. The other way is if you have a report, you can export the data when you clear the work. For example, we have the orders here. We'll create a simple report. Let me create a simple report. So go to the reports here and say report. Let us say one report is created. So this is a report create, let us say. Now, if you want to export the data, you have to go to first, you have to go to preview this report, go to preview mode, and then it will appear here the Excel or PDF, or but generally you want to export, you say select Excel, and it gives you destination file where you want to export. You can select it, browse it, okay, and then say okay. So the data, again, it gets exported to Excel file. So it has actually exported. Let us see the file where it has already stored that file. It is stored, just exported the data. Let us see the file. It filed Argus Excel. So this is file is stored as Argus Excel. Database file. So we'll go into the database files directory, and it has stored as Argus Excel. So this is the data, how it is exported, and this you can format this file. You can change the text color. So you see, this is how it has exported the data Excel directly from Access. This is how you can import and export the data. So it is asking you to save the file. You can save it. So you can close the database. So you can importing, exporting the data from Access is possible, from Excel or Access, or even from other MS Office applications.